Views with myself, Salailo Mankudir. The time is 17 minutes past 8 a.m. Central African time. And we're going to be kickstarting the show with a very, very important and concerning turn of events. As thousands of matric learners sit for the final exams today, the spotlight is on what lies beneath the headline pass rate numbers that we all look forward to in the turn of the new year. The country's biggest teachers union, the South African Democratic Teachers Union, SADTU for short, is raising alarm bells. It claims that some schools are quietly encouraging learners to abandon critical subjects like mathematics, physical science, and accounting, all in the name of protecting the overall matric pass rate. We'll be digging deep into the implications of this, the evidence of it, and we'll be doing all with SADTU's national spokesperson, Nomusa to ask if this what this means for the future of South Africa, and critical skills development that we all know and understand that the country is in need of. And Nomusa Cembi is joining us via telephone. Nomusa, thank you so much for joining us. Welcome to Salam Media. Really appreciate you giving us the time.
Thank you for the invitation and greetings to Salam Media listeners.
No, the pleasure's all ours. I think we can kickstart the conversation with just the cracks of the matter. Satya said that schools are dropping critical subject so that learners can avoid failure and keep the pass rate high. Can you clarify just how widespread is this practice, and what are some of the subjects that are most affected?
If you look at the numbers of learners that are writing the matric, you'll see that over the years, the number of children who are choosing mathematics, physical science, accounting, economics as subjects, the number is declining over the years. There's a lot of pressure that is put on school principals by their districts and their offices to have higher to have more numbers passing matric. So you find that there is pressure from these authorities, and it goes down to the learners to say to opt for easier subjects such as maths literacy, so that this can boost the numbers of learners who pass matric. That is one factor, and another factor is that we have fewer mathematics and science teachers and accounting teachers around. So you find that it will be easier to opt for these subjects. We are very much concerned about this because it's like now we are seeing it's like it is a contest of provinces as to which province has got more learners who pass matric, rather than looking at the quality of that matric pass. We are quite concerned about that, and we are raising the alarm that at the end of the day we want quality passes, because the mathematics and physical science and STEM subjects generally, even commercial subjects like accounting and economics, they open more doors. Yes, we welcome. We've seen over the years there is an increase, especially in the bachelor passes, but we would like to see more learners. We'd like to see an increase in the uptake of the critical subjects.
I think that's very, very important to note. I think what's concerning for me ultimately is the long-term implications for some of those learners who avoid or are steered away from these critical subjects. How does this ultimately impact their access to tertiary studies or technical training, or even the job market, because of this practice?
No, they do. Excuse me. Their access to these institutions of higher learning is limited. Their options are limited. They are there, but they are limited. So having mathematics and these critical subjects expand or increases their chances. So
All right. I think we're going to take a short, quick break. Mam Nomusa, so that you just sort yourself out. I know you have a little frog on your throat. It happens, especially when the weather's like this. We're going to take a quick stinger, and then we'll come back and wrap up the conversation with SADTU's spokesperson, Nomusa.
Breaking stereotypes, moving boundaries, joining hands. Salam Media. Humanity sets the agenda.
We get various months that symbolizes and aligns with certain things, and this month aligns with lifesavers. In the event of cardiac arrest, in the event of the heart stopping, what does a person do? So this is our main project, alhamdulillah, whereby we teach the CPR, choking, and the recovery position in this month. But not to say only in this month, Maulana, we do it throughout the year, alhamdulillah, but obviously emphasizing this month as to creating an awareness to all our, let's say, organizations, masajids, madaris, and communities out there, alhamdulillah. You know the Quranic ayat, Man ahyaha faka'annama ahyanna jami'a. So, you know, and whoever saves one, it is as if he has saved all of mankind. So we make dua that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala place in our hearts that we can extend this to communities and individuals out there, because even tonight I can just do a basic CPR lesson, and inshallah everybody will be well aware about it, and would have learned it too, alhamdulillah.
In the Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in an amazing ayah that that person who revives a life, it is as if he has revived or saved a whole nation.
Salam Media, a global voice for humanity. Breaking stereotypes, moving boundaries, joining hands. Salam Media. Humanity sets the agenda.
Welcome back. You're still tuned in to Salam Media of myself, Salailo Makwidiri, and we are discussing a very, very important matter, I think, which is very, very relevant today as thousands and thousands of Matric learners are sitting for their final exams across the country. We're looking at what lies beneath the headline pass rate numbers that we all look forward to in the turn of the new year. The country's biggest teachers union, SADTU, is raising concerns and alarm bells. There are claims that some schools are quietly encouraging learners to abandon critical STEM subjects like maths, like physical science and accounting, all in the name of protecting the overall pass rate that we see being produced in the new year. And you have provinces going up against each other, and schools and districts, and there's this big function that's held here in Johannesburg, and schools are invited from all across the country, and it's like a big pompous show of who did really well. And it looks like all the schools want to be a part of that to an extent where they are now encouraging students to drop the STEM subjects, as I mentioned, and this is having long-term implications. And we're still in conversation with Nomusa from SADTU. She's their national spokesperson. Nomusa, thank you so much for staying with us. Before we went for that quick break, we're still talking about the implications this practice of the dropping of these STEM and critical subjects ultimately has on young people when it comes to accessing, you know, higher education opportunities, others, you know, getting into the job market. Can you expand just a bit on that before we wrap up the conversation?
Yes, as I was saying, this, you know, the dropping these subjects limits the options that the learners have. So these subjects, they give learners more options. And at the end of the day, you know, it affects the general well-being of the country as well, in that you get fewer engineers at the end of the day, you get fewer actuaries, you get fewer nurses and doctors, because I mean you need maths and science for these careers. So the career options for learners are limited if they do not take mathematics and science and subjects like accounting and economics.
Are there any measures that have been put in place to try and curb this practice? I mean, Matric students are sitting today for their final exams, and one just wonders how many of them, when they were getting into grade 10, one in grade 9, and they were choosing subjects, they were told, maybe stay away from the maths and accounting and the physics. And ultimately today, they're sitting for, the histories and geographies of this world, while it wasn't, a passion kind of stream for them.
I think it should start at lower levels. The love for maths should start at lower levels, and not only the teachers, and also even communities as well. We must run away from this perception that is out there that maths is a difficult subject. Yes, we know that not everyone can do maths, but if it can be normalized that maths should be treated just like any subject, just like for instance languages. So it should be normalized that maths must be a common subject, and that should begin at lower level, the foundation phases right through, so that, because it's very difficult for one to have a good pass mark in maths without proper grounding in lower grades. So that would require even teachers. We have fewer teachers who teach this subject, so we need more teachers to be trained to do this, to teach the subject, and also more emphasis should take place at lower levels. But we believe that, like for instance, this year there's been a very slight increase in the uptake of in the class that is writing matrics now. But we would like to see more learners taking this critical subject. But at the end of the day, we still believe that the matric, that senior certificate is still a good national senior certificate. But more could be done if learners were to take up those critical subjects.
No, most definitely. And just lastly, before I let you go, Nomusa, over 900,000 candidates are set to write their 2025 matric exams from today. Is it all systems go from the teacher's side? Are you guys all ready? You've done all that you can throughout the year to make sure that these young people are prepared and they're ready for, I think, the biggest exam of their lives, essentially.
Yes, we believe teachers are more than ready for this exams. They've done a lot. They've sacrificed their weekends. They've sacrificed their early mornings. They've sacrificed their afternoons to prepare this class. So we commend them for that sacrifice, and we also commend the learners who have subjected themselves to those morning classes, to those weekend classes, to those holiday classes or holiday camps to prepare for this all-important examination.
Most definitely. There you go. Nomusa Cembi, SADTU spokesperson. Thank you so much for chatting to us. Really, really appreciate it, and all the best.
It's a pleasure. Thank you.
Yeah, there you go. Very, very concerning state of affairs. According to SADTU's own statement on the 2024 matric results, what stood out for me especially is that while the overall pass rate and the number of bachelor passes improved, there's been concern about a declining enrollment in critical subjects such as mathematics, physical science, accounting, business studies, and economics. And it's a more concerning state of affairs, considering just how important these STEM critical subjects are. And yeah, you can engage with us. How did you go about choosing your subjects back in matric? Were you like really good in mathematics and you decided, well, this is the path I was going to? Were you encouraged in any way by teachers, to say, hey, maybe go this route, maybe go the history route, geography, or maybe business and economics? You're more business inclined, or maybe you're a numbers person, physical science and life science and all of that. What was that key motivator for you to choose the subjects that you've chosen, and do you feel like you made the right choice ultimately? Because I remember when I was in grade 9, I was encouraged to study economics and business, but I ultimately went on to study mathematics and science and physical science. And as I grew up and finished my matric, which I think I passed very, very well, I realized this is not for me. And then I went on to study journalism. But ultimately, I think, I was swayed, to study, the sciences and mathematics. And I'm not using them much now. I'm a journalist. So what about your end? You can send us a WhatsApp on 061 766 0355. Matrics across South Africa, more than 900,000 of them are writing their final exams today. And you can just rewind to whatever year that you did your matric, or even back to when you did your grade 9, grade 10, and when you ultimately chose the subjects that you've chosen. What motivated you to choose them, and was it a right decision? Looking at your life right now, X, was it the right decision? The subjects you chose in grade 9 till matric, so. You can tell us on 061 766 0355. You can send us a voice note, and we'll read your messages also. You can engage with us on our various social media pages. Just search @Salam Media and use the hashtag news and views. And to the 900,000 matriculants that are sitting for their final exams today, you got this. I know already some of you are sitting for your first paper, so good luck and all the best. Making dua for all of them. 900,000. Sheesh. Going to take a quick break. News and views continues after this.